How Solskjaer controlled Moyes' 5-3-2 system, Manchester United 1, West Ham 0, a tactical analysis. For cheap good quality football jerseys, go over to www.jerseyfever.com, a link will be left in the description, and use code atlantisfootball to get 5% off. Before I get into the analysis, just give me 30 seconds to tell you about the OneFootball app. It's the app I use to keep up to date with the latest circulating transfer rumours, and I find the match section on the app incredibly useful as well, as they have stats from matches from pretty much every league in the world, which is great for getting a detailed insight into matches, teams and players that you aren't able to watch as much as you would like. If you like this channel, you'll definitely love this app, and you'll be helping to support the channel directly, so click the link in the description to get the OneFootball app. So going into the game, Solskjaer lined up his side in a 4-2-3-1 system with Henderson in goal, Lindelof and Maguire the centre-backs, Wan-Bissaka starting at right-back, Shaw at left-back with Fred and McTominay playing in the midfield double pivot, with Fernandes sitting in front of them, Rashford starting from the left flank, Daniel James from the right, and Greenwood playing as a centre-forward. David Moyes lined up his side in a 5-3-2 system with Fabianski in goal, a back three of Diop, Dawson and Cresswell, as Ben Johnson started at left wing-back, Kufau at right wing-back, with Rice, Noble and Souček playing in a midfield three, with Bowen starting up front alongside Antonio. So from the start of the game, we saw that United were using their usual 2-4-3-1 shape in possession when building up, which moves to a 3-2-4-1 kind of shape as United work the ball into the middle third. This is because when United have possession in the middle third, Luke Shaw pushes up down the left flank into a winger-like position, whereas Wan-Bissaka on the right holds a deeper position, creating a wide back three with Lindelof in the centre and Maguire pushing out to the left side, as McTominay and Fred sit in the deep double pivot position in midfield, with Rashford and Fernandes sitting between the lines of the West Ham system, with Daniel James holding the advanced width on the right. West Ham defended in a 5-3-2 shape from the start, being very passive and not engaging United until they moved the ball into their half. What was interesting in the first half was that Antonio and Bowen sat almost as wide players out of possession, with neither sitting in this central zone where Fred and McTominay were looking to get on the ball. So United controlled possession through the first half, largely because West Ham allowed them to. I thought West Ham's press was far too passive in the middle third. What they were trying to do is sit off in a 5-3-2 shape, and when Wan-Bissaka would receive the ball on the right, Ben Johnson was instructed to push up the pitch from the left wing back position to press United's right back, creating a temporary 4-4-2 shape. However, as we see here, when this does happen, there's no West Ham player cutting off the passing lane into Fred, and when the pass does go into him, the West Ham midfield are far too deep to instantly pressurise him, which allows him to turn out and circulate the ball to the other side. West Ham struggled to stop United progressing the ball into the final third when they tried to engage United's deeper players in the middle third, as Bowen does here. This would just leave space wide of West Ham's midfield for United to move the ball into, as is done here with Maguire moving forward. The other problem West Ham had defensively was on the left flank. Shaw's attacking positioning was perfect. By pushing high up the pitch, this meant that Kufau and Bowen on that side had to make a decision, either to sit narrow and close up the half spaces, or push out wide to close up the space for Shaw. We also see here that Rashford's narrow position in the half space forces Kufau to sit narrow, opening up this long pass out wide to Shaw. When in possession, West Ham seemed to be using a 2-4-3-1 shape, moving to a back four with Cresswell pulling out wide to an orthodox left back position, and Johnson pushing up the left flank, as Rice and Noble played as a deep double pivot in midfield. However, West Ham weren't able to retain possession, as United did an excellent job of stopping them progressing the ball through the centre of the pitch. United pressed in a 4-2-3-1 shape, and whenever Rice or Noble received the ball, Fred or McTominay were close enough to instantly pressurise them, forcing them backwards, and in the end West Ham had to play long balls forward, looking for either Antonio or Souček, which most of the time just gifted possession back to United. This meant that even though West Ham were trying to counter quickly, they were unable to get the ball into the midfield enough to even get these sorts of chances to launch an attack, which was due to Maguire dealing with Antonio's physicality and aerial ability extremely well throughout the game. When West Ham did manage to retain possession in the middle third, we saw Souček push up from the midfield line into a second striker position. I did analyse Souček in a video a few weeks back, so I'll leave that linked in the description and in the eye above. But West Ham didn't offer anything at all in the final third, which can be seen as in the first half they recorded an XG of 0, not even a chance of any substance. United had an XG of 0.86 going into half time, so weren't exactly bombarding West Ham's goal. However, it did seem like the goal was coming, and this was because West Ham's press was completely disjointed, and down the left side they were struggling to deal with Luke Shaw. We can see here that West Ham have attempted to press United high in their defensive third, with Bowen, Souček and Johnson pushing up the field. However, the rest of the team is far too deep, leaving a massive vertical distance between West Ham's front line and midfield line in this press, allowing Henderson to bypass West Ham's pressing front three with one pass into Fred, who's able to turn and drive United forward, and then because Rice and Noble are caught in two minds whether to drop deeper or push up the pitch, they fail to cut off the passing lane into Fernandes behind them, meaning that one vertical pass from Fred gets United running at West Ham's back line, which leads to Greenwood's chance on the edge of the box. Shaw was very good on the left, so Bowen was forced to drop deeper into a conventional right midfield position in order to stop United funneling the ball out to Shaw as much, seeing West Ham defending in a 5-4-1 now, but all this did was give United more space in the centre of the field, with McTominay, Fred and even Bruno Fernandes being able to receive the ball, turn and play a forward pass without any real pressure on them. Going into the second half, we did see Moyes make a couple of changes to his pressing system. We see here that United are building out in their defensive third, and unlike in the first half, Souček and Noble have pushed right up the pitch, man-to-man pressing Fred and McTominay, whilst Antonio pressurises the player with the ball. Moyes also instructed Antonio and Bowen to switch sides. In the first half, Antonio was positioned over to the right, whilst Bowen was on the left, but as you can see here, Antonio cuts off the pass across the box to the left side, whilst Bowen is now pushing up onto Wan-Bissaka to apply the pressure. Just from this graphic, we can see how West Ham's pressing changed in the second half. However, whilst this was an immediate improvement, there was still major faults in the press. As the ball goes from Lindelof to Wan-Bissaka, we can see that even though West Ham have their front four pushed high up the pitch, their whole system isn't vertically compact, as the six behind them retain deeper positions. This means that Wan-Bissaka's first time ball into Fred allows United to completely play through West Ham's press, and now Fred can carry the ball forward into the middle third. United did take the lead early on in the second half from a corner, seeing Dawson head the ball into his own net, which would be a massive disappointment for Moyes, as you would have thought that set pieces would be where West Ham would be least likely to concede the opening goal from. This goal did force West Ham to become more expansive, however they did already seem willing to do this from the start of the second half, and you can understand what Moyes was going for. Johnson was also switched to the right wing back position, with Cresswell moving to the left wing back position, as Kufal played as the right sided centre back now. This was probably done in order to allow Cresswell to push further forward down the left, to use his deep crossing ability, which almost paid off when Cresswell's excellent deep cross was headed wide by Bowen, who did turn out to be offside, but this was still one of West Ham's best attacks in the game. From about 60 minutes onwards, the game suited United perfectly. They could sit slightly deeper and allow West Ham to come onto them before counter-attacking into the space vacated when there was a turnover. We see here from a West Ham attack that Fred knocks the ball onto Rashford in United's defensive third, and United are immediately able to break. Rashford feeds the ball through for Greenwood, who's able to isolate Diop in a 1v1 before getting his shot away and hitting the post. I think in this game we saw where Greenwood's best role in the side lies, playing as a centre forward but being given the freedom to drift out to the flanks. He was able to get in behind West Ham's back line down the right side quite a few times, and once he was in this position, he can either cut inside on his left to get a shot away or go down the outside on his right to drill a shot across the keeper. What was also evident in this game is how much United do need a right winger in the summer. Daniel James just doesn't have the impact on the game unless it's carrying the ball forward during a quick transition in attack, but when he's up against a side who are going to sit deep for most of the game like West Ham did, then United need a better creative outlet on the wing than Daniel James. See here, United have countered and are 4 versus 2 in West Ham's half, with James carrying the ball forward, but his passing to Fernandes is behind him, which completely stops the attack. If United had conceded an equaliser late on like they did against AC Milan, then this type of situation would have been highlighted even more. There was a few other issues I had with Daniel James's game, like his movement in between the lines or lack of it, which I'll probably talk about in another video so I can analyse it in greater depth, whilst also saying what United need to be looking for in any right winger that they target in the summer. So overall, a good win for Solskjaer's side. They controlled the game through large parts, as has been the usual this season. However, United do need to be more clinical in their attacks, as we saw against AC Milan, you're going to drop points or lose ties if you can't finish sides off when you have the chances to do so. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, remember to subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you get notified when my videos come out. Give the video a like, put your thoughts in the comment section below, and check out some of my other videos which will be linked in the description and in the eye above, and also follow me on my other social media accounts as well for more content.